Welcome back to the second episode of A Link to the Past. Last episode, we were called in a dream by Zelda. She wanted us to save her in the castle. Link's uncle went to the castle before we left the house. After reaching the basement of the castle, we've saved Zelda and ran away through the hidden passage. Then, we've reached the church and learned further of what Ahanim is plotting. In Kakariko village, an old lady told us about the legend of the Master Sword. In this episode, we shall be researching for any information about the Elder. Last episode we've collected a few heart pieces and collected a heart container which gave us our fourth heart. Here's how many hearts are available in the game. 24 heart pieces spread around the world, 1 heart container in the church, and 10 from dungeons. The heart pieces will give off 6 full hearts in total. Also, you begin with 3 hearts, leaving us with 20 hearts by the end of the game, which is a decent amount of hearts to have, because later enemies shall be able to eat your hearts faster than what has been shown as of now. My goal is to show you what 100% completion shall resemble by the end of the Let's Play. Those blocks that we're pushing right now resembles chocolate squares. I wonder how many calories would be in such a large-sized square. Maybe we could ask Epic Meal Time to tell us the answer. We've obtained our very first bottle. We shall be able to save us some time for when we die, since they'll be able to store fairies. But you need to use a net before capturing them. The net is just as helpful, since you can go as far as capturing a bee. Then, you can send the enemies screaming in agony just like Nicolas Cage. But after attacking the enemies, if my memory serves me right, the bee shall try to attack Link, since you're just another enemy to it. This section of the game has quite a number of items for us to collect, which shall speed up the completion rate. This reminds me, in Ocarina of Time there's this glitch involving bottles, where you can obtain one more bottle. It was surprising to me at the time. Plus, there was some other glitches too, such as the one where it involves the pond. My friend had shown me these glitches years ago during the early days of the 3DS. I can't remember where they saw this glitch, because it was part of an old YouTube channel from the early 2010s. I'm uncertain if it still exists. I have no clue what I am doing to this painting, so let's get back into the game. Make sure to get a bottle before speaking to the boy, since you can't trigger the event of obtaining a net without it. How about we end the second episode while relaxing in the door frame? I'm kidding, because that is barely enough gameplay for an episode and we haven't reached our goal for the episode. I'd only do short videos, if the game requires it, such as one last game, which was only a few minutes long in terms of gameplay. Speaking of episode length, I am trying to make it so you get a summary at the beginning and a hint as to what the next episode shall be about. For now, I'd wish to add the end card that's themed after the game being played, including indicators for items obtained and others things like it. For now, I am lacking in experience when it comes to editing, so these mentions may come in future videos. So please be patient with me as I am in the process of learning to become a better editor for content. I doubt that I'll be capable of obtaining the heart piece without finishing the first dungeon. Yeah, I was right. Either way, I'll see you back in Kakariko Village. Let's keep searching for new information. I'll get back to you on the flute that has just been mentioned. The lady will call out one of the guards if you get too close to her, because Link appears on wanted posters, so please avoid her when you're playing, since it shall save yourself some time. Make sure to look in every nook and cranny whenever playing, since you might miss out on some things. There are things that are obtainable but are out of reach due to the lack of a specific item. Now we have the location of where to go next in the story. We shall finally be able to explore our very first dungeon. Before such event ever happens, I'd wish to present you with a couple of locations that contains collectibles. Earlier, I was trying to obtain the heart piece. During such time, I've had captured a bee and gamble to obtain more rupees. That's what happened before I've headed back into the village. Either way, I'd wish to speak about the shops. As you've seen, the shops offer goods like hearts, bombs, and potions. The potions are quite helpful when you're low on health or magic. Red potion is worth 120 and fills all hearts. Green potion is worth 60 and restores all magic. Blue potion is worth 160 and fully restores magic and health. The blue potion may cost more, but you certainly save rupees and it makes up for 2 bottles, which is an amazing deal for a high-costing potion. The fairy only restores up to 8 hearts, but it immediately revives the player as a bonus. This is what I wanted to mention about the flute. If my memory serves me right, this is the first game where the ocarina appears in a Zelda game, but not the first time in which a musical instrument is present in a Zelda game, since the original Zelda had a recorder, which would help you teleport. The ocarina has had many variations throughout its history, such as the Ocarina of Time, which is different than the one featured in this game. By the way, we aren't able to speak to the flute boy, since we're just going to make him teleport somewhere else. A Link to the Past has connections to Ocarina of Time. For example, the war that happened in the introduction of the game from Episode 1. Also, this takes place in a downfall timeline where Link fails in his quest to defeat Ganon. If I were to make another Zelda playthrough, I probably would go on to have Link's Awakening on the channel. Then, the Oracle games, since that is where the Link from this game ends their adventure. I'd need to check on the most recent version of the Zelda timeline since Hyrule Historia is now outdated when it comes to the timeline, since more games has been released since then. But it still contains a lot of interesting information about the fictional universe. Earlier, I was speaking about potions. Personally, I prefer the fairy since it plays a passive role in helping the player and that it activates immediately when you lose all hearts. 8 hearts is only near half of the full amount of obtainable hearts in A Link to the Past. Going by our current progress, the fairy is the best option. But later in the game we shall be given items that's more costly in terms of magic. Currently, we only have the lantern, which uses a bit of our magic power. Speaking of such items, there's one located near Lake Hylia, which is at the bottom right side of the map. Another point of interest would be the Desert of Mystery, which is at the bottom left side of our map. We can't go there yet, because that is where the second dungeon is featured. I was talking while it happened, but it was pretty nice that the arrow didn't hit me while I was spinning around with the net. Time to release the Bee of Doom. Whatever you do, don't use your sword against Chuchus, since they'll electrocute you if you do. Now we have a newer addition when it comes to items that utilizes magic, but I don't intend on using it just yet. Don't you worry, we're near our destination. We've finally arrived. In the next episode we shall retrieve our first pendant just like Sahasrara had asked of us. Also, we shall get the chance to explore the very first dungeon of the game.